All right, good morning, everyone. We have everyone. We'll call the meeting of the Health and Human Services Committee of November 17th to order, and roll call, please.
Okay, Chair Tornatori.
Here.
Member Renahan.
Here.
Member Desart.
Here.
Member DeCiani.
Here.
Member Eckhoff.
Here.
Member Larson.
Here.
Thank you, and we have a quorum. Do we have anybody sign up for public comment?
Yeah, we'll have Steve. He's got something to say from the VAC, so.
All I want to say is the Toys for Tots. The Toys for Tots is running right now. We're going to have a box downstairs at the main entrance and a box upstairs at our office in the cafeteria. That's all I want to say. And we put it on that big screen on the street. So if anybody wants to stop by, they can just go to the main entrance to drop off.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Chairman's report. I would just simply like to thank all the members of the committee. This is our last meeting under the current tenure of the board. Thank former Chairman DeCiani for all the hard work that he's done, and particularly like to thank Member Larson, who was chair of this committee for the first 6 years that I was on it when I was vice chair, and all the hard work and dedication that he put into this committee. I know that Bob, you spent a great deal of time working with the people at the care center and everywhere else for that matter, making this committee what it is. And you will be missed. I will miss you, and I wish you nothing but good fortune in the future. And if you wish to say something now or later, feel free.
Well, I'll just say briefly that it was a great experience. I worked with a couple of different directors of the care center, none of them better than Janelle, who's been fantastic. And in years of working together with Mary Keating, who's one of the most amazing public servants I know, wears more hats than a hat maker, and does so many things. It makes it look. So this committee has always been more important than it probably gets credit for the amount of money that goes through this committee and grants and so forth, and for the good that it does. In order to do it, it was a challenge for me when I had to step away to take over the finance committee, but it's always been an honor to continue to serve with this committee, work with the tremendous staff at the care center and the human services department, and throughout. It's just been great. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of October 20th, 2020.
So moved.
Motion by member Larson, seconded by member DeCiani. Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call, please.
Member Larson.
Aye.
Member Renahan.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member DeCiani.
Aye.
Member Eckhoff.
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the minutes are approved. Moving on to item 6A, I'll entertain a motion to approve FIR 650-20, a resolution to revise the personnel headcount.
So moved, Renahan. Second, Desart.
Motion by member Renahan, seconded by member Desart. Any questions, comments on this item? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call, please.
Member Larson.
Aye.
Motion. Member Renahan.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member DeCiani.
Aye.
Member Eckhoff.
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to combine and approve items B through E. These are acceptance and appropriations and various contracts.
So
So moved, Desart.
Second, DeCiani.
Motion by member Desart, seconded by member DeCiani. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call, please.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Member DeCiani.
Aye.
Member Eckhoff.
Aye.
Member Larson.
Aye.
Member Renahan.
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye. And the motions are combined and approved. Moving on to item 7, I'll entertain a motion to combine and approve items 7A through F. These are acceptance and appropriations and recommendations for various contracts.
Moved.
Motion by member Larson,
Second, DeCiani.
second by member DeCiani. Any questions, comments on these items? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call, please.
Member Larson?
Aye.
Member Renahan?
Aye.
Member Desart?
Aye.
Member DeCiani?
Aye.
Member Eckhoff?
Aye.
And Chair Tornatori.
Aye, the motion carries. Moving on to item 8, Veterans Assistance Commission. I'll entertain a motion to approve FIR 646-20, a resolution accepting the extension of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs scratch-off lottery grant.
So moved to Sart. Second Renahan.
Motion by member Desart, seconded by member Renahan. Any comments, questions? Yes, member Desart.
Yeah, I wonder if Steve is still in the room. Steve, just remind us, how much was raised through this program last year?
Okay, funny you should ask, $80,000. Okay, we've spent right now 42,900. We've got about 37,000 remaining. Out of the 37,000, about 10,000 is already accounted for, so really right now we're at about 27,000. Okay?
Thank you,
We've done
Steve.
maybe around 15 veterans. The cap is 5,000 per veteran, and we've done maybe 12 to 15 veterans overall right now.
Thanks, Steve. Remind me again, this is for something specific like dental or vision care?
Okay, for the grant that we got, it's for dental, vision, and hearing.
Okay. All right.
Okay? So 95% of it's been going to dental. Since I'm standing right here, the new scratch-off lottery is out there now for 2020. I don't encourage gambling, but if you do play the lottery, consider vet cash. I'm done.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Dawn. Okay, moving on to item 9, I will entertain a motion to combine and approve items 9A
We have to
through
vote
D,
on that.
budget transfers.
Chair Tornatori, we have to vote on.
I'm
We have a
sorry,
motion and
I'm
a
sorry,
second.
apologize. Call a roll, please, on item 8.
Okay. Member Desart?
Aye.
Member DeCiani?
Aye.
Member Eckhoff?
Aye.
Member Larson?
Aye.
Member Renahan?
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the motion carries. Now moving on to item 9, I'll entertain a motion to combine and approve items 9A through D. These are all budget transfers.
So moved to Sart.
Second, Larson.
Motion by member Desart, seconded by member Larson. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Member Desart?
Aye.
Member DeCiani?
Aye.
Member Eckhoff?
Aye.
Member Larson?
Aye.
Member Renahan?
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 10, travel. I will entertain a motion to approve an authorization for overnight travel for the weatherization assessor to attend the Healthy Home Evaluator training course in Champaign, Illinois.
So
Motion by member Eckhoff,
second DeCiani.
second by member DeCiani. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Member Eckhoff?
Aye.
Member Larson?
Aye.
Member Renahan?
Aye.
Member Desart?
Aye.
Member DeCiani?
Aye.
And Chair Tornatori.
Aye, the motion carries. Moving on to item 11, I'll entertain a motion to combine and approve consent items 11A and B.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
So motion by member Eckhoff, seconded by member Larson. Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, roll call, please.
Member Eckhoff?
Aye.
Member Larson?
Aye.
Member Renahan?
Aye.
Member Desart?
Aye.
Member DeCiani?
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 12. Before I ask for a motion to combine and approve items 12A, B, and C, just for informational purposes on informational item A. This may have jumped out at you. Historically, the Inspector General does conduct audits on Medicaid receivables from the care center. Occasionally, there is an overpayment to the care center. The audit period covers 2.5 years. In the case of the past 2.5 years, we have actually been overpaid a little over $430,000. Historically, we paid this amount over a period of years. However, the state now is charging interest on that money. Because we'd rather not pay interest to the state, we're going to be paying that money now. I've checked with Janelle and others, and this has been allocated in our budget for these for this audit, so it will not affect our budget in any way. Janelle, did I say that appropriately and correctly?
Yes, you did. And then just as another reminder, there's oftentimes we're underpaid. For those of you that have been around a while, when we went to the MCOs for Medicaid, we were owed like over $6 to $8 million from different carriers, and we sought out Patty Belloc, who helped us get reimbursed. So it goes both ways, just for some history.
Thank
We
you.
charge them 5% when they're late.
Wouldn't that be great?
Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion to combine and approve items 12A, B, and C, and receive and place on file.
Motion DeCiani.
Second, Dart.
So motion by member DeCiani, seconded by member Desart. Roll call, please.
Member DeCiani.
Aye.
Member Echo.
Aye.
Member Wilson.
Aye.
Member Renahan.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the motion carries. Moving on to residency waivers, I believe we have one. Janelle, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
As you may or may not know, we've gone back to really restricting our admissions just based on the positivity in the market, our tier status, and also the cases here at the care center, which I'll update more in my update. We currently have a resident here that's been here under a short stay status, seeking long-term care. The applicant, first and foremost, we have many beds available just due to our lack of ability to admit. So we have 12 female and 21 female beds. 3 have already been offered to DuPage County residents. So this applicant has a daughter who lives in Downers Grove for 4 years and a brother-in-law who lived in Naperville for 18. We were highly recommended by the applicant's brother-in-law, who worked for the county for 20 years in the recent past. If this person is accepted for long-term care, the applicant's spouse plans to move to the county and volunteer at DPCC, so to be closer to her loved one. So spouse is also impressed with the care during the subacute stay, even in the COVID environment. God bless them all. So we are requesting approval for this waiver.
and we have plenty of beds, as I understand it. Is that
We
correct?
do right now, yes.
Okay.
But
Okay. Any questions regarding this residency waiver?
I make a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I think I heard member DeCiani first, and member Desart will be a second on that one. Any comments or other questions? Roll call, please.
Member DeCiani.
Aye.
Member Echo.
Aye.
Member Larson.
Aye.
Member Renahan.
Aye.
Member Desart.
Aye.
Chair Tornatori.
Aye, and the waiver is approved. That's the only one we have, isn't it? Is it not, Janelle?
that's correct.
Okay. Moving on to community services update, Mary Keating. Mary.
Good morning, everybody. A couple of things. As I mentioned at finance last week, I've been working with Member Renahan to bring additional funding assistance for food pantries forward to the board. We're working on getting that on the agenda for next week. We worked with the Northern Illinois Food Bank and identified the 8 largest distribution points that hadn't already received some direct allocation. And so we'll be bringing approval for 8 agreements to Finance and County Board next week. I will be able to absorb that within the 7 million that's already been allocated to the Community Services Department. Just a staffing update. We're making a concerted effort to bring the number of people in the office down again. We will continue to have some folks in the office, but we're seeing more and more staff who are quarantining at home because they've had some exposure even in either in their own house or through friends and family. So we're being very mindful of how many people we have in the office. Coming up in December, we'll be starting to think about 2021, moving away from all of the focus that we've had on the coronavirus relief funds. We're starting to put together our plan for the Community Development Block Grant coronavirus funds that we've received. We kind of put that on the back burner while we were working on CRF because the CDBG funds have a much longer spending horizon, so we can spend those into 2021 and 2022. So we'll be bringing our plan to the Community Development Commission in December. It will most likely be some sort of a hybrid of some set-asides for some specific types of activities, as well as an open application process for nonprofits looking for public service dollars and capital dollars. And then finally, I just want to thank Member Larson for all of his support. He's just a great guy. And thank you for the kind words. And I'll miss you, Bob.
Thank you, Mary.
Miss you too, Mayor.
Moving on to the DuPage Care Center update, Janelle.
Yes, so it is with great sadness that I announce we had an employee pass away from the coronavirus last week. Pretty surprising. The person had been out for a period of weeks, but just lost their battle. We had our chaplain here working with the entire team and that specific department just to help with the grieving process, but I just want you all to be aware that that happened. We currently have 4 units on isolation. We've been up to 7 within the last couple of weeks. So we are seeing a tick up in cases in the community that is impacting our staff and residents. We've had since April 45 residents that have tested positive. So that number is still relatively low and 58 staff. In the last 2 weeks, we've had 11 residents and staff from 1 unit that had tested positive. So it's very apparent where we're having staff wear N95s, they wear a visor, they wear full PPE when their unit's on isolation. So the fact that there was still some potential spread occurring there tells you that there is sometimes the strength of the virus can be very strong. So that seems to be settling down a little bit at this point. We are testing, we made a change. We're testing our direct care staff now 2 times per week. So now we're at the point of conducting 800 tests a week. We're well over 12,000. We've become quite the experts on testing. So if you have any questions, reach out. We talked a lot about open beds, and I just want everyone to understand. So we're running between 16 and 19 referrals at any given time. So the need for our services is great. Our ability to take those individuals just isn't there right now. So once we do get to a point where we can reopen for admissions, we will see a greater need. Also of note, our closest competitor has closed their Medicare unit down. So that obviously puts more pressure for the hospital to try and find placement at the less number of facilities that accept Medicare residents. So that's my report. And I would also like to thank Bob. The short time that I've had with him, he's been a great supporter of the Care Center and to me personally, and I just can't say enough. So you will be greatly missed, but I think I have your number in my phone. So.
You know where to find me. Thank you.
I do.
Okay, thank you, Janelle.
Thank you.
Chairman Tornatore, can I make one more comment?
You certainly may.
So I was on a call this morning with a majority of the hospital systems, and it's a monthly call that the health department does. But one of the things that the health systems kind of said across the board was that in this newest wave of COVID-19, the community is not acknowledging and celebrating healthcare workers the way that they did in the spring. And so I just wanted to personally thank Janelle and all the staff at the Care Center. And I think it would be helpful if all of us just make sure that we're acknowledging not just the Care Center staff, but any healthcare worker that we come across. Those folks are really, they're really fighting a battle. And it kind of broke my heart this morning to hear so many of the hospital systems saying that, you know, they're really having to work to boost morale because
Right.
They aren't necessarily getting those, you know, that community support that they were getting in the spring.
And everyone comes to work with, you know, their own burdens, and we don't know that. So we're really trying to be cognizant of that and just, you know, remind everyone that kindness is always great, and the team has been wonderful. But there are people with, you know, things going on outside of here. I've had my uncle, and now just Sunday, my cousin passed away from COVID. So it's impacting, you know, a lot of people in the communities. So we all don't know what we come to the table with at any given day. So thank you, Mary, for your words.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Janelle. And we all all feel that way about our healthcare workers, both at the care center and throughout the hospitals, who are doing such a great job. Any old business? Yes, Member Renahan.
Just real quick, I just wanted to thank Mary for your help with this, food insecurity issue. We know it's such a problem, and you putting together a list of people for me to work with, and then identify those needs, make sure we went from a small amount of money we talked about to a much larger amount of money. And I just want this committee to know there's people that are going to have Thanksgiving dinner thanks to the work on this committee and the county being able to use those funds. So thank you, and thank you, Karen, for helping out with everything you've done.
Great, thank you. Any other old business? Any new business? I believe we can, we don't need a roll call, so without objection, we're
Member
adjourned.
Desart has new business. Mr.
I'm sorry, Member Desart.
Thank you. I know you guys want to wrap up this meeting quickly, but
No, we got time. Go ahead.
okay, I just want to, Mary Keating, you have your finger on the pulse of need in this community. And watching the news, it's devastating to see how many people are food insecure. I heard about a single mother who hasn't had a paycheck since March. Senator Ellman's office called me the other day because a family has lost their home. Their car was repossessed. They're in a hotel up here at Deal Road and Route 59. And so their kids are away from the school where they were getting free lunch and free breakfast from their school district. Now they're somewhere else where they're not getting that. So with all of these special needs and the problems that are rising, you've got your finger on the pulse. I am confident that in early 2021, we're going to see another federal stimulus package. So I'm wondering if you would kind of start writing down ideas on how you think we should spend the money. If we're lucky enough to get another $161 million, what are the needs that you're seeing? I'm hearing only a few, the two that I've mentioned certainly, and watching the news, as I said, is terrifying. Some people are so deeply impacted, not only by COVID, but by financially because of COVID, that I'm wondering if you could start giving us like a wish list. What do you see that what should we spend money on if we get another stimulus package?
Well, if I could just take a minute, thank you for, I don't think I've quite got my finger on the pulse, but I have a significant network of, the nonprofits out there who we have great working relationships with. So they certainly help us identify the needs that are out there. And that's part of what we're going to do in December when we talk to the Community Development Commission about the CDBG funding and putting out a call for applications. Those applications will help inform what the needs are. Certainly housing security, food insecurity are probably the paramount things that we'll be focusing on. Homeless issues, but that is the plan for December, and the process that we'll use by putting out a call for applications. We'll be getting that kind of information from the nonprofits. Now, certainly that CDBG money is a much smaller scale than potentially what you're talking about if we were to get another large stimulus package. But hopefully those kinds of the specific needs would be identified, and then it would just be a matter of scaling up or down depending on the resources that we had to meet those needs. So we're certainly turning our focus now to 2021, 2022 as we're approaching that December 30th deadline for the coronavirus relief funds.
Thank you. And just while I have you here, let me ask you, this family who's displaced to a hotel room, I mean, they have a roof over their head, but somebody said, well, if you can't get free breakfasts and lunches, just go to the food pantry. Well, they can't. They don't have a car anymore. Is there anything like a transportation voucher? Like, I don't know, Uber gift cards? Is there anything?
I think our information and referral folks are working specifically with that family. I know we've also put them in touch with the Regional Office of Education Homeless Student Liaison. So I can't speak to the specifics about what supports we may be providing that family, but certainly we're looking at those kinds of options.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
You're welcome. Thank you, Member Desart. Thank you, Mary. Any other new business? We'll scour the screen and make sure I don't miss anybody this time. Seeing none, hearing none. Thank you all. Enjoy the holiday. Without objection, we're adjourned.